welcome to my channel. I'm Sarah Jane from Misunderstood. Now today I'm going to talk about the inappropriate use of isolation in schools. In 2002, the guidance for isolation in schools by the Department for Education cast inclusion as a restrictive physical intervention that should only be used in an emergency. Now, this was for children that were being aggressive and disrupting others in class. It was a place for them to go to calm down. Recently, there's been so much news coverage about disciplinary measures such as isolation becoming just a regular part of a school day. Isolation is sending children to a separate place where they can't talk to anyone, they can't interact with anyone. This is to control school children and enforce compliance with the school's rules. It's not used as a last resort of certain behaviours, it's used for zero tolerance. It's a punishment for minor infractions such as wearing the wrong pieces of uniform, the wrong type of shoes or trousers, a haircut that a teacher decides is too short. Now this is routine behaviour in schools now. There are also no requirements for a school to record how many children they put into isolation per day. Some schools have isolation booths where children can't look left or right and they have to stare at the wall in front. Some will have small rooms where you sit alone. Then they are escorted to the toilets or escorted to their lunch before any other children leave their lessons. This is to keep them from making eye contact with other children. Schools are very upfront and open about the way they use the isolation units. They don't hide it. One head teacher reported that talking in class, not focusing or being off task, your name is written on a board. The second time you do it in that lesson, you'll be sent to an isolation room for 5 full lessons, plus an hour of after-school detention. He also reported that students were enthusiastic about this and their parents are supportive. I can't see that being true. I've spoken to many parents and the majority of the time they have thought their child was exaggerating. Schools have the power to put their own policies in place and parents feel like they just have to accept it. It doesn't make these policies legitimate and it certainly doesn't stop them from being answerable to the United Nations Convention of the Rights of a Child. The maximum time you can leave a young offender in a cell alone is 3 hours, yet schools are putting children in isolation for 3 days. I think it's going to produce positive changes in pupils' behaviour. Here in the UK, no one is challenging what's happening in our schools. It is completely inhumane. A child needs to learn and understand how to manage their emotions and any behaviour which might seem challenging to people. They need support and guidance. Now, I'm in the middle of collecting evidence from children and adults that have been through the education system with this isolation policy in place. Now, so far, I have heard reasons such as going to the toilet in class time, wearing eyeliner, having a piercing, answering a teacher back. Is this real? When are people going to stand up and get these policies abolished? It's absurd. I've spoken to many parents that didn't even think they could do anything about this. Well, you can. If we don't stand together and fight this, we're allowing our children to be abused further by the education system. I'll put links to many different papers that have been written about the abuse of isolation policies. Something has to be done. I know many are in agreement with me. These policies are all wrong. I've got a petition that has just gone through Parliament, waiting to be accepted or declined. We will see. For anyone who has a story to tell of their time in isolation for ridiculous reasons, you can message me and I'll put my details below. Well, thank you for listening, and if you want to hear any updates on what's happening, then please subscribe to my channel and you'll be notified of any new videos. Thank you. Bye.